Alright, you set this up. Alright.
Guide for live 83 window. Capture and share tab. 7 of 8. Broadcasting. Live on Mixer. Button. 4 of 7.
Face of the franchise.
Alright, we're gonna get back into franchise real quick. Welcome back to the channel. This will be week 5.
Franchise. Face. Franchise. Franchise pop-up menu. You have 3 options. Continue playing is selected. Entering franchise hub screen. Things to do. View message. Offensive coordinator is selected. View message. X Factor QB is selected. View message. X Factor LB is selected. Play season game is selected. Advance week. Play season game is selected. Things to do. You have 4 options. Play offense. Play full game. Entering team select screen. The Seattle Seahawks, the home team, are selected. Ready.
Alright. Like we playing the Seahawks. They've got a
It's
good
girly
defense.
power. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden
Usually,
NFL
they've got a
football
good
on
run
EA
defense.
Sports.
Actually, they've got a
Coming
good
up, running
all-around
back
defense.
Todd
No matter
Gurley,
if you're throwing or
fresh off a
running.
standout performance a week ago, as it'll be
See
the
what we
Los
can
Angeles
do.
Rams taking on the Seattle
They've
Seahawks.
also got good offense.
I'll see you again at halftime as
Their
we
run
preview
is
some of
not
the
that
action
great on
coming up
offense
on Sunday.
as far as I
But for
remember.
now, it's Thursday
their,
night football. And on the
offense
call,
is-
as always, it's Brandon
Actually, their run
Godwin
is
and Charles
moderate.
Davis.
Thank you,
It's not
Coach.
too
We are
bad.
in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Seated next to Charles
So I think
Davis,
this
I'm
game
Brandon
will be
Gaudin. And Charles, this
a really
one
tough
featuring a
one.
couple
It'll
of
be
playoff
back and
teams from a
forth,
season
no doubt.
ago, back at
Not
it
like
again in
that blowout.
2019.
And we
Last
both
week.
felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Alright.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and
All right,
off
so
we
I
go
get to-
on EA Sports. This
I get the
fielded a
ball
few
first.
yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes
So
out to
start
the
off the
25-yard line. The Rams
25.
offense ready to go to work, and it's Jared Goff who leads them out. Number 1 overall pick back in 2016. If you look at it, his rise falls right in line with the arrival of Sean McVay as head coach. 2 years ago, 0-7 start as a rookie, but since then 24-7 in the regular season the last 2 years.
Hopefully, Jordan's going to do what he's
Now
supposed
the
to be
third
doing.
leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Yeah.
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total scary. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game, because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
Watch tight, tight end's right. Watch tight, tight end's right.
See if we can get some yards.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Let's take a glance now at the starting defense for Seattle. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
That was a 5-yard pickup.
Facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
Go. Go.
Goff on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Only 29 yards on the punt there, definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
I was sad to hear that they let Greg Zuerlein go to the Cowboys. I don't know what the Rams are doing this offseason. Like, they're letting go a lot of people. Like, I heard that they're letting Gurley go, and Zuerlein's gone. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I have a couple of
good starting
players
field
in
position
Twitter,
here for the Seahawks as they
and
come up
talking about
1st
they're
and
trying to
10
rebuild
at the
the team and
39-yard
stuff.
line.
I don't know.
Now it's Wilson.
Kind of
And
crazy.
an alley to run.
So I'm starting to wondering, like, who are they gonna have? I know that they're trying to free up cap space, but I don't know. Like, a lot of the defense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Carson. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle.
Hey, what? Mike 54. Mike 54. Man, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bunch of new people on the Rams whenever the
On
season
first
starts.
down, it's Carson. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 18 carries, 63 yards.
And now that he's playing a
But this
Thursday
whole
night game,
quarantine
short
thing
week,
is
you know, he
over.
spent
I
a
hope
lot of
so.
time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs
We'll
back
see
for
what
this
happens.
game.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Check. Watch 54.
Watch 54.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Good.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson.
Oh, from the gun.
This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now it's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Into the end zone. They're way too close not to.
Now Wilson feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Corey Littleton coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Yeah, loss of 4.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Gonna go for a field goal.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, a chip shot here.
Time's running out.
And Myers able to knock it through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This will be taken in at the 1. He gets away from 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season. Right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. Here's Gone.
Man, defensively, that hurt.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll square off with the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Out on the West Coast, more good stuff in the late afternoon as we'll be watching the one down in Carson, where it'll be the Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a rematch of an AFC division round game from a year ago. The Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken short.
The football right now.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive.
That's right.
They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Rams go nickel here defensively on third.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
What he was doing.
Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They run the counter. It's Carson. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing.
Yep,
With a guy
they're
like
up.
him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's got his man on the out route.
Wow.
And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Yeah.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. To throw is Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. They'll run on first down. Carson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and it's 3rd down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They run again with Carson, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
All right, that wasn't too bad.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and
Yes,
teams
sir.
can score fast in this league.
That's a good one.
Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Down. 60 outlaw. Let's go, B. Big series right here. Big grip.
First throw now for the backup Bortles.
How is he not throwing it?
Airing it out deep for Woods. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away. Looking to erase a two-score deficit here in the fourth quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Cook's now in his second season with the Rams. He's had 4 straight years over 1,000 yards. He had 2 with the Saints, 1 with New England, and then he went over 1,000 again last year with the Rams. 80 catches, 1,204 yards. Jared Goff, 4 times last year he led the Rams on a fourth quarter comeback. He obviously didn't do it in Super Bowl 53, but can he do it here? Now Goff. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Hey, Mike 50.
On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye.
Yes,
Touchdown, L.A.
Only got a hole in
Todd Gurley with
up.
touchdown number 8 on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Zerline connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And last year's rushing and total touchdown leader Todd Gurley caps it with his first of the game here.
They need to throw an interception and get this back and score.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They can punt or they can go for it. I don't really know. Guess we'll see what they do.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
Entering pause screen, resume.
Lost 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Powers through again. Now, a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So Goff and the Rams down 10-7, a minute 7 remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Gurley. Oh, refusing to go down.
Yes, sir. Let's
And
go.
he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right.
And call timeout.
A yard. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 55 yards. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Zerline good with a PAT.
Right.
And the lead is now 14-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
I should have liked to have kept the ball for a little bit longer, but I'll take the points over keeping the ball, and hopefully we can keep the defense up and they don't go nowhere.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At the 28.
Now the
Not too
focus
bad.
shifts to the Seahawks offense. Trailing by 4, 23 seconds to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you're
All right,
playing
so
a
we went out of
quarterback with
bounds,
some
so they're stopping
experience
the
and some
clock.
moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters.
That's a wrap.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at
That
the
is
line.
awesome.
And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
All right, so this is it. Ain't no use in doing much of nothing else.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
180! You must be dreaming.
The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Go Mike 50, Mike 50. Okay, double up, double up, double up, double up.
Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
Because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it,
tough.
got to stay locked in. It's our
when
type
they
of a
scored
game.
twice,
And you just mentioned
that
it.
touchdown,
Division
that field
game
goal, I was like,
on the
ah,
road, tight. and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for L.A., they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-4 with a
Post-game report
loss.
player
And they'll
stats.
try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.
All right.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you
Finish
next time.
game.
So long, everybody.
That's a good game. Tough as I thought it would be. But we got a good lead on the on the wins. So that's what's up. So thanks for coming back and checking this out. As always, subscribe, hit the like button, enable notifications so you know when I post up new videos. And I'll throw another one of these up here pretty soon so we can get to week 6, see what we can do, and hopefully we can make the playoffs and get to the big game. So I'll catch y'all later.
Tab, 5 of 8. Home button, 1 of 1.
Peace.
Communication tab, 6 of 8. Chat button, 1 of 4. Capture and share tab, 7 of 8. Start recording, capture screenshot button, 3 of start recording button, 2 of 7. Capture screenshot, broadcasting, live on Mixer. Capture screenshot, broadcasting, live on Mixer button, overlay 1, window, stop pause broadcast button, stop broadcast button.